you. So here we begin. Welcome everyone to this Sunday Pathshala, our regular Sunday affair of sharing, learning, sharing such information which helps us become heartful influencers. The vision and the mission is there for all to see, and I'm very happy and grateful to all of you who are part of this experiment to take this very nice and possibly noble idea forward. So what are the three key objectives of our community? One of the key objectives of the community is heartful learning. You know, many times we feel that the goodness ambassadors of the world are shortchanged in the sense that they have certain issues with either typical issues which doesn't allow them to flower as heartful as community influencers or heartful influencers, or they're not able to project the best that they can. These issues could be as small as not knowing technology, having some issues with communication, not being able to make presentations. We want to come up with such learning resources which can help take away such pain points. Most of these learning resources will be free. Sometimes they will be paid also. And with these kind of resources, we will make sure that people who want empowerment to do more and more good and to express the intrinsic goodness of their heart will get an opportunity to do that. Another very important idea is that to do anything in this world, you know, we need money. And even if you want to do something very noble, even noble causes need money. So this is going to be a platform to enable and empower goodness ambassadors with money resources through honest, through business opportunities, through reselling opportunities. The idea here is, you know, not to be money shy. You know, what we are trying to say here is that goodness ambassadors of the world somehow do not give enough importance to the you know, financial wellness aspect of things. You know, that somehow takes a back seat. Here we want to take a different approach, and we believe in financial wellness and financial empowerment as much as we do other aspects of learning. So this is going to be a forum where we will enable people to earn more honestly in a heartful way, using digital technology in most cases as a way, as a leverage to make this happen. The next thing that we talk about here is heartful giving. Now, heartful giving is a very concept in the sense that goodness cannot be expressed unless, you know, you are ready to give, unless you're ready to move forward with the idea of compassion in action. There has to be action, and this compassion or this goodness can be expressed either through knowledge or through time or through giving of money, and or maybe all of this. So this will also be a forum which will enable people to do this. Not only will we earn in a very heartful way, we will also try to give in a very heartful way. Many of the transactions and opportunities here will have goodness cause embedded in them. You know, when you do something here, when you promote your things here, or your honest products and services here, or you sell something for somebody else, somebody else's products and services here, which are again honest, some good part of it will go towards a noble cause which is close to your heart. So what we are trying to do is we are integrating the giving and the taking together, so that you know, there is you know, the giving part is very seamless. These are the objectives of the community, and this is a little bit about me, Vishal Ganeriwal. Yes, so this is a bit about me, Vishal Ganeriwal, and as you can see, I have two important positions right now. One is a vision growth partner. What you have heard from me so far talks about the vision part that I like to talk about, pursue, and do something about it. My personal vision is to empower people to achieve their goodness visions. You know, that is my personal vision. And heartful learning, heartful earning, and heartful giving is a method that I have adopted for the same. By profession, I am a business start coach. I help people start their businesses with least cost, least efforts, and least risks. Uh, this is a short profile of my business side of things. We will not spend too much time on this. Suffice it is to know that I have worked in top organizations, in top roles. I have a very all-rounded personality. I have come all-round domain experience. Anyone who wants to start business is welcome to take my services. So a short summary of what we did so far. We have covered the vision part. I have posted the video earlier. We will not talk much about the vision part, except that just to say that a vision is a dream, and aspiration, which has the following purposes. Without a dream, without an aspiration, without a directional aspiration, one doesn't have purpose in life. The difference between us and the other living beings, for example, the animals, the plant kingdom, is that human beings can have a purpose, they can have a direction. And this unique aspect about our life cannot be ignored. And I do not know whether it be fair to say this, but purpose gives joy to life. Otherwise I do not know. Maybe this is something very personal, but I really believe that if you're not going in a particular willed direction, then I do not know whether one is finding the sense of fulfillment, whether one is finding that sense of inner joy that is, which is so much possible for a human being to enjoy. To know what to choose and why you choose, there are so many choices out there. Now, how do you decide what choice you're going to make? The basis of your choice has to be your vision. If it matches with your vision, you choose that way. Otherwise, you don't. Then again, the company factor. Who are the people you want to spend your time with? On what basis do you choose? Just because you like a person, spend time with him, that works for some time. But but really, the real reason why you want to spend with people, there has to be some vision alignment. The real deeper relationships. You can have peripheral relationships based on what you like, and maybe you enjoy. But the deeper relationships, has to be around your vision. So that helps you choose. So in general, a vision helps you not get lost in the ocean of life. So again, one more slide on vision. What does a vision really talk about? A vision is actually an aspiration, a dream, which you want to be. Assuming that if you had no problem with resources, what would you like to be? And what would you like to achieve? What would you be like to be identified as or known as? So these are the things that the vision talks about. What is the key problem of life or business or community or that you want to solve? That can be a part of vision. What is the impact that you want to have, with your business, on the community? What is the personal impact you want to leave on your world? That can be a part of vision. A vision can be 20-year vision, 10-year vision, 5-year vision. 5-year vision is more realistic than a 10, 15-year vision. A 20-year vision is, you go all the way out and you don't think in any restricted way. We have covered these aspects in the earlier part 1, and those who have missed that video, I posted that in the group today, and you can enjoy. So we will skip, a little bit more about vision. A vision is a personal, it can be personal, something to do with you and your life. It can be something to do with your business or your professional side. It can be something that you see for the world or for the community. So these are 3 broad aspects that you can have a vision. Of this, personal vision is very important because it is you who is going to run the business. It is going to be you who is going to make the change in the world. So unless your personal vision is in place, the other 2 visions are going to be shaky. You must have a personal vision. A very interesting element that as Heartful Learners Academy, we recommend is to put something known as the heartful element in your vision. Think about yourself, think about the me, but please include the we in that. Think about the community, think about the larger world also in that vision. Let it be a developing idea. I do believe the time has come, and if with so many things happening out there, if you really want to stand out, and if you really want to do something meaningful, with everyone trying to kind of move resources or move things towards themselves, towards them, towards the selfish me. There was a time 30, 40, 50 years ago where this worked a lot, because it was a trend, it was starting, and people caught on to that trend. But I believe now the trend that is going to get reversed. It's going to, unless you show trust, unless you show consistency, unless you are helpful to others in a win-win way, you will not be able to differentiate your product, services, and yourself. Well, it's a hypothesis. The academy will test it, and I personally do believe in it, and we're going to take action in this regard.
DAYIM.
Those who are just joining in can consider to keep yourself on mute. Okay. So now this is a very important diagram, that how it is all aligned. The vision, first you think about the vision, then you think about the mission statement. Your mission is on the mission statement. Then you think about the goals, and then you think about the milestones. There cannot be a mission statement without the vision statement. There cannot be a statement of goals without the mission, and there cannot be milestones without the goals. So when we plan, we have to start from vision to the mission statement, to the goals, and to the milestones. If you're having any questions, please just hold them. After each section, we'll take a small break and we will invite questions. So now, what is the mission? We just had a recap about the vision. Now, what is the mission? The mission statement or your mission is the what part of your vision, the how part of your vision, the for who part of your vision, the when part of your vision, by how much part of your vision, and the key goals of that must happen if your vision has to come true. It is a summary of these factors. It is the action part. While the dream is an aspiration, the mission is the path or the way that you will take, the broad way that you will take to achieve that vision. We will keep fluctuating between these two slides. I will read out a mission statement and then we'll come back to the earlier slide. Now, this mission statement is a business mission statement, and let us see what it says. Promote sustainable and healthy lifestyles to people who want to minimize the intake and use of synthetic chemicals by selling products of daily consumptions on wholesale and retail basis, online and offline, that have substantially or completely switched over to natural ingredients, giving due attention to quality and ensuring fair value proposition to customers. This will be achieved by making this a both awareness movement and a business that generates profit and also measures the impact on customers' health. The satisfied customer shall become our ambassadors and referral partners. We plan to make 10,000 such ambassadors in 3 years' time and keep growing at faster pace thereafter. So now this is a mission statement that can possibly happen for an organic store or organic a store that wants to sell organic things, chemical-free things. So this mission statement can be for that particular store. And let us see now the elements of this mission statement. So as I said, this mission statement is a path or a roadway towards your vision. These are some of the things that should be in a mission statement. Before I go further, let me tell you that when I was doing my research on vision, mission, goals, and milestones, there is a lot of confusion among various authors, books, experts, internet literature. There is no common thread. Somebody's calling vision the mission, mission the vision. Somebody's writing the mission as the vision, vision as the mission. The goals and the milestones are all confused. Finally, I came up with the least confusing, or I would say it's not, I tried my best to make it as simplified and as usable. Once you are done with this, you'll realize that this format is extremely usable and extremely useful and extremely simple. And that is what this Heartful Learners Academy actually tries to do. We try to remove the complexity and the vagueness in the knowledge and try to bring things forward in a very simplified way for everyone to appreciate and enjoy. So that was a little deviation. Just wanted to make this point here. So now, if you see here in the yellow, whatever you see color coding done here, and it reflects in the mission statement. For example, the mission statement should contain the idea of key needs and aspirations you need to satisfy. So let us see what does our mission statement talk about. What are the key needs and aspirations? Promote sustainable and healthy lifestyles, giving due attention to quality and ensuring fair value proposition to customer, generate profit and also measure the impact on customers' health. So these are the areas, these are the purposes that the mission statement talks about, what it wants to satisfy. What is it? Who are the kind of people it wants to serve? Who are the people? It is for who? It is for people who want to minimize the intake, who want to minimize the intake of synthetic chemicals. Though people who want to minimize the intake of synthetic chemicals, so people who want to reduce the usage of chemicals, they are our customers. And what will you begin to do in the immediate future to achieve the vision? How will you do it? What are you going to do immediately? The vision is out there. What are you going to do immediately? How are you going to do it? This has to be a part of the mission statement. So by selling products of daily consumption, what is he going to do immediately? He's going to sell the products of daily consumption on wholesale and retail basis, online and offline. This is talking about what he's going to do, how he's going to do. And then again, another part of the how statement is there in a little later part of it, which says this will be achieved by making this a both awareness movement and a business. So he's going to make this an awareness movement and also a business. So this is the what and the how part of it. It should include elements of continuous development, goals and milestones. A mission should not be static. It should give an idea of progress. It should give an idea that we will keep improving, we'll keep doing more and more. So what is that element what is the element in this? If you see the last line, and keep growing at faster pace thereafter. So he's talking about, it is not a static mission. It is not a static mission statement. A mission statement needs to keep going forward. You can include non-sensitive measurable outcomes that help as a reference point. What this means is this mission statement normally gets published. So you don't want to talk about sensitive items. Say if you want to achieve 100% sales growth, if you don't achieve, it will create a bad public perception. So you should not talk about specific numbers in your mission statement, but you can talk about things which are not sensitive. For example, if you see in green, we plan to make 10,000 such ambassadors in 3 years' time. 10,000 ambassadors in 3 years' time. So this is a non-sensitive number to put in your mission statement. When you write a personal mission statement, you talk about making money and all that. Don't write specific numbers. Those numbers we will cover later when we talk about the milestones. In the mission statement, we have to give the idea where we are going and how we want to, all these things that we discussed. Avoid putting specific numbers, okay? Unless they are non-sensitive, like the one that we have just mentioned here. Contribution expected from key stakeholders. So in the mission statement, you can also call for partnerships. You can call for people. For example, this mission statement talks about the satisfied customers shall become our ambassadors and referral partners. So the satisfied customer of this store, he is going to be the ambassador. He's going to give them a lot of word of mouth publicity, and he is going to become his referral partner. This is the expectation from the stakeholder. It is also a strategy of the included in the mission statement. A vision statement, earlier when we had talked about, we had said that you take 2-3 months to write a vision statement. You take your time, change it as many times you like. But once you have made it pakka, once you made it solid, you keep an accountability partner along with you, and you don't change that vision statement without getting that accountability partner. Accountability partner is a person whom you trust, who you have developed the vision with. And you will not change that vision without the permission of that accountability partner. Because if you keep changing the vision, it is a problem. It's like you going on the east, then you want to go to the west, then you want to go to the north. So vision is the general direction of your life, and you should not be very hasty to change it. Take your time to make it, explore it. But once you've made it, then be stable. But the mission statement, you should keep checking every, once a year. You should see whether it is fine, whether you're making progress in that direction. Do you need to change something in it? You should definitely review the mission statement. It is not necessary that it will change, but it may change. And good mission statements normally change every 12 months to 36 months. They will change. You would have achieved so much, then you want to talk a little more. You want to again, during the vision, we have talked about level 1 vision, level 2 vision, level 3 vision. So when you see a level 1 vision getting close and getting accomplished, you want to move to level 2. When you move to level 2, the mission statement will also change, because the mission statement flows from the vision statement. So this was about the mission statement, and let us move forward. I will take a small break here. I invite questions. If anybody wants to ask any question, please put them in the chat box. If you want to go unmute and ask me something, go ahead. Take a small pause here. After this, we'll talk about the goals and we'll talk about the milestones. Any quick questions about the mission part of it? So what we're going to do after this is I'm going to ask the group to write about their vision and mission statement and practice this. So only when you try to attempt write it, then the questions will emerge, and you can even post me your questions a little later. I understand this is a conceptual and you would rather listen. That's okay. And if as long as you're getting it and it's making sense, that's great. So let's move forward. Now, what are goals? So as we had discussed, the vision should lead to the mission statement, and the mission statement should lead to the goals. So goals is the new state of reality that you want to create in any area you focus. If you have X amount of health, you want it to become X plus plus plus, then X plus 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 is your goal. If you have X amount of money and you want X plus 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 money, then that X plus 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 money is your goal. It is a new state of reality, a new state you want to be in, okay? A new state that you want to create for yourself. While the vision, talks about, while the vision provides energy and the vision provides the pathway, the goals provide the immediate direction and also your priorities. The mission is a broad way, it is a pathway. But what do you need to do immediately? Those are the goals. Goals give you that idea. What do I need to start doing immediately? What should be my priorities? Because without knowing your priorities and your goals, where are you going to move on the road? Which direction are you going to take? How fast are you going to move? If there are certain deviations on the road also, which one should you take? Should I go here first or there first? Those are the things that, questions that goals will answer. Any area of life you want to improve, this is a vague idea. Say, I want to be happy. Now, what does happy mean? You need to break down happiness, the idea of happiness, into components, which, what will make you happy? For example, maybe if I am able to improve my health, that will bring me happiness. Or maybe if I am able to make 10 more friends, I'll be happy. Or maybe if I am able to make my business grow so much, I will be happy. Whatever is your sense of happiness, or if I'm able to meditate regularly, I'll be happy. So whatever is the sense of happiness, that has to be expressed in terms of goals. Without having goals, it will always a vague idea and it will always remain an aspiration. So always make the vague a little certain, more certain, by giving it the color of goals. In this approach that we are talking about, our goals need not be watertight. People will talk about SMART goals. They have to be very specific, But I am suggesting that the goal should not be very watertight. When we talk about milestones, that is the time when we'll talk about things being very, very watertight, very, very clear. Goals we should talk about what you want to be in a general way. For example, I want to make a lot of money. For example, I want to become healthy. I want to improve my relationship with my spouse. Now, these are goals. They are not specific. Why I'm saying this is, don't ask very aggressively from the universe things that you're not sure. For example, ask the universe what you want, project what you want, but don't dictate the pace. Don't dictate how it should happen. you know, in a very, in a very broad sense. Goals is like a 15-month, 18-month agenda. And we want to leave a review open, in the sense that milestones, when we talk about, they will be like tactics, what you have to do. And sometimes tactics work, sometimes they don't work. So you must have one more layer between the mission and the milestones, which are the tactics, which are the goals. That this is what I want to achieve. And when we talk about milestone, you'll realize that we will work with uh, very tight, watertight objectives. And sometimes these objectives lead us to that goal, sometimes they don't. You think that by achieving this, your goal will be achieved. But sometimes it doesn't happen that way. It is not suitable for you. So you have to change. Therefore, we have kept this layer of goals between the mission statement and the uh, milestones, so that there is space for you to make the changes. So again, goals are our midterm, must have a midterm perspective. 15 to 24-month goals you should have. Peter Drucker used to say that a human being can change a lot in 18 months. Substantial changes can happen. So a 15 to 24 months is a good point to be in. Every 2-month basis, you should review your goals. If you sit down, written your goals down, you please review them every 2-month basis, your major goals. Not about milestones. Milestones are something that you need to review much more on a weekly basis. But goals, whether you're achieving them or not. See, there are some people who say you should maintain a goal diary, you should write it every day. I'm not talking about projecting your goal. I'm not talking about reinforcing your goals. Maybe writing your goals every day in a diary is a good idea. Maybe projecting them every day is a good idea. But I'm saying evaluating them. You need to evaluate the goals every 2 months and see whether what procedure you adopted to achieve those goals, whether that is being met or it is not being met. The business now the goals can be of different types: business goals, professional goals, personal goals. Business goals can be profit, sales, customer churn rate, customer growth rate, stock levels. You may want to set benchmark for these. Personal goals can be salary, high leadership score, designations, type of projects that you get in your organization. Personal goals can be health, wealth, relationships, spirituality, community service. All these things can be goals that you can set for your for your own self. Just like vision, personal goals are the foundation for professional goals and business goals. If your personal goals are not in place, it's difficult to manage the professional goals and business goals. Balancing your goals. So this is a concept. This is a concept that I have picked up from Dr. Adizes. Dr. Adizes is one of the leading management consultants in the world, and he has this patented consulting methodology called the Adizes methodology, and it's wonderful. If you get a chance, do visit his blog and his site, and there's so much you learn from that. You want to achieve this goal, deterministic, but making sure that this minimum threshold is not disturbed, which is a constraint goal. Deterministic goals are goals that you want it. Those are goals which you have set. But then there are certain constraints. I want this goal, but without losing out too much on this particular thing, or within the boundaries of this. That is called a constraint goal. For example, I have written here in 18 months, my take-home salary should be XYZ, but ensuring that I'm spending at least 1 hour quality time with my family and every day and 5 hours at weekend. So you need to balance your deterministic goals with constraint goals, and it is best to have both of them in place. So it is quite possible that you may not achieve your deterministic goal completely. There may be, or you may be able to achieve it, but you will also be able to do justice to a sense of balance in your life. Other things which are important in the journey, you will not postpone to an indefinite future, and the life will be more rounded. And personally, I always believe that balance is success. The more balanced we are, the more moderate approach we take, the more we take all-rounded approach we take, the more successful we can consider ourselves to be. What is the point in being a very successful businessman with a ruined family life? Or what is the point in loving your children, being a great parent, and you give them so much of affection that you forget to discipline them? I mean, everything needs to be in a sense of balance. Perfect balance is not possible, but can we try to get it as close as to perfection as possible? So this idea of deterministic goal and constraint goals is a great idea, and I recommend this approach to everyone. Take this example of spirituality. Is spirituality, this again coming from Dr. Aziz, is spirituality a deterministic goal and money the constraint goal, or is money the deterministic goal and spirituality the constraint goal? He asked this question, and I put it forward for all of you to think about. Okay, so something that people talk about in terms of goals is short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals are goals which we will achieve in the context of this explanation. Short-term goals we will achieve through the milestone framework that is going to come after this, and the long-term goals is a part of our vision. So in our understanding here, short-term and long-term goals, we are not going to talk about it separately. Long-term goals become part of the vision, the aspirations, perhaps a part of your mission. The short-term goals are what we're going to talk about when we talk about the milestones. Another very important idea about goal is the number one goal of your life. You see, there are times in life where time is crunch, and you have problems with time management. So in that time, which is that one goal that you're not going to sacrifice? What is that one goal, most important goal that you're not going to sacrifice? So you need to have an understanding of this goal. That goal should be so important that even if you don't achieve anything else, if you achieve that goal, you are satisfied. You're okay, not bad. That sort of a feeling that at least the most important thing I was able to do. So that one particular goal is very important, and that becomes a fulcrum around which a lot of things will happen. Many times this goal, it takes time to identify that goal and accept it as the number one goal. Take your time, there is no hurry. But remember that this one goal is extremely important. It brings more clarity to your entire spectrum of goals and your priorities, how you should do things, why you should do things, how you should allocate time. It will help a lot. So now milestones. Now what are milestones? Milestones are smart goals. Are smart goals in the sense that S stands for simple to understand and being specific. We will see each of these things. M means it is measurable. You can measure it. Because there's a theory which says that you can change only things which you measure. If you don't measure things, you cannot change things. So if you really want to change things, you should be able to measure things. It should be achievable, it should be relevant to you, and it should be time bound. So we are calling SMART goals as milestones. And these are the features of milestones. So milestones are SMART goals that we have to achieve every 3 months. So what we saw is that the vision is a long-term vision, 15 years, 20 years, perhaps more. The mission statement is to be reviewed every year. The goal is a 15, could be 15 to 24 month achievement period, which you need to review every 2 months and see whether you're making progress or not. SMART goals are or milestones are 90 days targets, which you set up for yourself, which will make a lot of changes in the area that you're targeting. If you are targeting health, then it should bring a lot of changes in the area of health, significant changes. If you're targeting relationship, it should lead to a lot of improvement in relationship in 3 months. So, these changes should be noticeable to you, and it should also be noticeable to others. Okay. You can break up these milestones further into monthly, fortnightly, or weekly targets. You can step up. If I have to achieve so much in 3 months, what I have to achieve in the first month, then what I have to achieve in 15 days, what I have to achieve in 1 week. Please review these milestones at every 7-day basis. Don't wait for 1 month. Every 7-day basis, you see what progress you're making on milestones. As we discussed, the milestones have to be very, very specific. You cannot be vague. Goals can be vague. When we talk about health, you have to talk about how many kgs, if you want to reduce weight, for example, how many kgs you're going to lose in the 90 days. I will lose 8 kgs, 10 kgs, 12 kgs, 6 kgs. Whatever is the target, you must put. if you're not exercising, you may put that by the end of 3 months, I should be able to jog for 20 minutes, or whatever is your target, you set it up, and that has to be specific. It should be measurable. It should be something that your brain understands. There should be no vagueness at all. The logic behind it should be absolutely crystal clear. The vision is something to do with the heart also. The mission also has certain amount of, higher order thinking, and the goals are more grounded, and the milestones have to be absolute bullseye. You need to know exactly this is what is going to happen with you. You should be able to understand it perfectly well. You should be able to, it should be extremely relevant to the goal that you are going to achieve. It should be measurable. These aspects should be there in the milestones. One thing that we do about milestone, and this is a very important, perhaps one of the very key aspect of this presentation, is that we don't make them too tightrope. What I'm trying to say here is that enjoy the change. One secret about the human brain is that if you try to jerk it, if you give it a sudden target, from tomorrow I'm going to get up at 4:30 in the morning, you've not been getting up even by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on tomorrow, every day I'll get up at 4 o'clock and I'm going to do meditation. Nahi hone wala hai. 99% nahi hoega. Not going to happen. You need to slow down. From 7:30, 8 o'clock, you're getting up, start getting up at 6:30. Start meditating for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Then slowly after 15, 20 days, come to 6 o'clock, 5:30. Then go till 4:30. Then sit for 1 hour meditation. That is how it happens. If you jerk the brain, the brain sort of withdraws. It kind of doesn't cooperate with you. And you feel that, and you would have given your best shot to it, and then your motivation comes down. There's a science to the brain. Don't jerk your brain. Why? Because there are certain programming, which we call synaptic pathways in your brain, which are formed due to your habits and thinking process. And all of a sudden, you want to jerk them and break them. It doesn't happen. It takes time for new habits to be formed, the old ones to loosen. When you stop using the old habits, they become loose, and they start withdrawing, and the new ones start emerging. And when those new synaptic connections happen, that is the time when these new habits get formed and the old habits die out. So do not jerk, do not over expect. Another aspect of the brain is that brain will rewire. This rewiring of the brain happens when you're in a joyous state. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not in a state of joy, the brain will not wire. It is said that neurons are cells of the brain which help in the thinking process. Neurons of the brain, they fire together. They come together when there's a state of joy. When there's a state of happiness in your brain. That is the time when these things happen very fast in your brain. So please enjoy. Don't wait for that big goal that you're going to achieve and then you're going to be happy. Enjoy your success every day. If you've been able to get up, instead of 8:30, you got up today at 7:30 and you meditate for 25 minutes, happy. Be happy that you did it. Pat yourself. Be happy. Create a conducive and joyous atmosphere for the brain to rewire. Many of the people who take these long strides, first stride is going to be the best stride, they are on an ego trip, and 99% they are not going to change. Okay? Don't be in that mass. Take a gradual, steady approach towards your milestones. Okay? Build momentum. Now, this is something very important. If you put a log of wood, a fat log of wood in front of an engine of a train which is not moving, it has a capacity to block. The engine will not be able to move forward. But if the same engine is moving at a good speed, you put many such logs, a big wall of such logs, it will break and it will go. So when you want to break the big habits of life, you must be in a state of momentum. You should already be doing things, and then you take up the bigger challenges. Begin with the small ones first. Begin with the easy ones first in terms of habit changing. When I'm talking about habits, don't attack the big ones first. Attack the small ones first. Build up momentum. Just the small things. See that, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do this. And once the momentum is there, that spirit of moving forward is there, then you take up the more difficult ones. And then when you're really going for it, take up the real tough ones. So it is, it's wisdom to kind of first take short walks, then a long walk, then and then a brisk walk, then you jog, and then you run. You've not been going out and all of a sudden first day you want to run for 30-40 minutes. Maybe you will do it. Next 4 days you'll be in the bed. You'll say, no, nahi baba, nahi hota, nahi karna. So the process of change, enjoy it, keep it gradual, keep it steady, don't give up on it, but give yourself that corridor of discipline. You know, what is a corridor of discipline? A corridor of discipline is like a train, is like a plane. A plane doesn't fly just within 10 feet. It has some thousands of feet of corridor within which it can move. You know, it has freedom to move in that corridor. Give yourself that freedom. There will be backslidings. You know, even Swami Vivekananda used to say, you know, these backslidings are human nature. You've gone 10 steps forward and then you'll have 4 steps backwards, or you may even come back to 0. But it's part of human nature. That is how we are. That is how human beings are. Don't deny the fact that it is a natural part. You know, you feel hungry, you feel thirsty, so you also backslide. That's human nature. Please accept this and don't feel disappointed when there are backslides, when you kind of moving back. It's part. There's no curve which goes like this. You know, it's a curve that goes like this. But always make sure that the new low is higher than the earlier low, and then the new high is higher than the earlier high, and you are making progress. Okay, so allow yourself this corridor of discipline. You know, don't be too strict with yourself. You know, it doesn't work, and you will give up on change, and that will become an excuse for not changing at all. So this is the example that I have taken, that if you want good health, then good health can be a goal, but what can be the milestones? Milestones can be 90-day. Within a scope of 90 days, you should be able to say that how many minutes I want to jog. How many days a week I will exercise in the next 12 weeks. How many inches I will cut down from my waist in the next 12 weeks. How many liters of water I will consume every day for the next 90 days. How much alcohol will I cut down on? Today, if I'm taking so much, how many mLs will I restrict my alcohol to? Then there can be others like wealth, relationship, service, spirituality. You can have examples. You can have, milestones for all of this. But remember, milestones need to be specific. They need to be clear. They need to be time bound. They need to be relevant to you. Okay, and it should be achievable. So this is the last slide of the day. Then we will have some interaction. When we did the earlier slide, we saw that the mission, from the mission comes the goal, from the mission comes the vision, from the vision comes the mission, from the mission comes the goal, and from the goals come the milestones. But when it comes to action, that is the planning part, okay, the thinking part. But when it comes to the action part, it is the milestones you act on to achieve the goals. You act on the goals to achieve the mission statement, and you act on the mission statement to achieve the vision. So it is an invertendo here. It moves the other way around. The planning is like this, the execution is like this. And both of them are extremely important. And obviously, unless you have milestones, you cannot work on it. Therefore, it begins with planning. But when you come into strategy, you think less about the vision. You think a little lesser. You think a little more about mission. Somewhat more you will think about the goals. But you will always be focused on the milestones. So if you're climbing, it's like climbing the mountain. Before you climb the mountain, you look at the summit and you say, oh wow, this is a summit I want to climb, and you enjoy and you make up a strategy. But once you start climbing the mountain, you're not thinking about the peak anymore. You're thinking about the next 4 or 5 or the 10 feet that you have to climb. That is your focus. The next 3 steps is your focus. And those are the milestones. The next 3 steps are your milestones, which lead to the goals, the mission, and the vision. So this is it, and I welcome questions now. You can kind of unmute yourself and talk, or you can put them in chat. I'll be happy to take questions now.
Vishal sir, Himani here.
Yes. Who is this? Please introduce yourself and talk, sister.
Himani.
Yes, Himani, go ahead.
Yeah. So can we have a very layman example of somebody having vision and then, breaking it up into mission, goals, and milestones? A very layman language in a normal day life, like somebody can, it'll be easy to pick up and understand, if possible.
Okay, so did you see the vision presentation that I had given last weekend? Not the
Yes,
last
sir.
weekend, that
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I've gone through that.
Okay, so in that, if you take up, okay, let's go to that since you asked that question. Let's take a practical example and see how it goes. Okay,
Yes, please.
it's okay. Um, or why not this? We already have a mission statement. Let's take up this one, a business level one statement. To greatly reduce what is the business level one statement vision? To greatly reduce the contact and ingestion of synthetic chemicals in the human body and promote a very natural way of living in the city I live. Okay? Is this a good vision statement to have? The first one, suppose if you want to have an organic store, would this be a good vision statement to have, Himani? Tell me that if you're an organic store person and you want to set up a growing chain of organic stores, is this a good vision statement to have in the first year,
Yeah, sure.
5 years, that I will reduce the contact and ingestion of synthetic chemicals into the human body and promote more natural way of living? Clear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So now this is the vision statement. Now
Okay,
after
great.
this, we saw this. What is the example of a mission statement that this person should have? This is exactly the mission statement that this person should have from his level one. Okay. This from the vision, this is the mission statement that he should have. Now from this mission statement, what are the goals? Now let us look at, since this is a business statement, let us look at the goals. Okay. Business goals. He has to set up what is the profits that I should have on a 6 months or yearly basis for the next 3 to 5 years. He must have a business plan. He must have a sales figure. What is the
Yeah.
turnover he's going to target? What are the customer churn rate? Customer churn rate is how many out of every 100 people that become his customers, how many of them leave and how many are retained? That's a churn rate. What should be the customer growth rate? How many customers should he add every month? What should be the stock levels? If he is maintaining stock level of say 10,000 units overall, what should be the level that he should have? These are goals. Okay, goals and also milestones. Uh,
Right.
in the sense that when he talks about that I want to break, I want to make profits, I want my business to make good profits, and in a year's time, that is a goal. But when he says that every 3 months I must at the end of 6 months I should make 5% profit, at the end of 1 year I should make 8% profit, at the end of 2 years I should make 12% profit, that becomes a milestone. Say take example customer growth rate. His goal
Okay.
can be that my I should keep my growth rate should remain constant. It should never fall down. It should always be on the positive side. That can be a goal. His milestone can be that the first 6 months I want to grow at 50%. Then next 1 year I want to grow at 30%. These are milestones. So the
Okay.
goals give the direction that he wants to go, and the milestones will give specific attributes, time in which it has to grow. In case the milestones are not achieving the goal, then he needs to redefine the milestones. Maybe it's very aggressive, or maybe it is slow, or maybe there's some element in that milestone which he has not covered. So then he will be able to achieve the goals. So I have tried to explain to you that how, in a business perspective, the vision, the mission, goals, and the milestone.
Right. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? Any other questions? Yes. Anand, you can ask your question. Go ahead. Let's. Okay. Yes, somebody raised their hand. Any questions here? So this is what I am. This is what I am suggesting that we can all do. Is I'm going to put this exercise in the group also. That please listen to this video again later, and frame your own vision, mission, goals, and milestone statements. And believe me, this is going to be extremely useful. A lot of the cobwebs in our mind, which take our mental thinking space, once we are able to arrange our vision, mission, goals, and milestones, there will be a lot of mental space to do other things. There will be a lot of movement. Just this simple process of writing it down will make a hell lot of a difference. I am doing it, and it has made a lot of impact. It has made a lot of meaningful impact in my life. I am a student of these principles as much as you are. Not that just because I've stated it here, I am following all of them myself. No, I am also learning, improving. I remind myself I'm supposed to do all these things and I keep improving. But yes, I have been doing it to a large extent, and I keep reviewing them, and believe me, it makes a lot of difference, and it can make the difference between wanting to live a purposeful and meaningful life and actually living one. The very important takeaway from this is when you plan, you go from vision to mission to goal to milestone. When you start executing, you go from milestone to goals to mission and to vision. So let's get the first thing out. Let's get our plan in place, and then we will start executing it. So if there are no questions, we can end this meeting. And if there are any further questions, you can post it in the group. I will be able to answer over there. So thank you so much for attending this, and see you again next Sunday. Same time, 7 p.m., your Sunday Pathshala. Feel free to answer questions one-to-one. We'll be closing the group for comments at midnight today. So you can ask me one-to-one. Any difficulty that you may have, I will answer you on WhatsApp.
Thank you so much, sir. You've been great help today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And,
thank you very much. Sir, all the statements mentioned were very, very meaningful, and they were very precious because every word was so important. So it's difficult to write down because it's important for us to listen also. So it was difficult to write down each and everything, because unless we have a guideline in front of us, it's difficult to write down the mission and milestone maybe. So can we get some kind of clippings or guidelines on WhatsApp group maybe?
I'm going to post this video. You can rewatch it. You can watch it at your convenience, make your notes. And if you need more help, you send me one-to-one WhatsApp. But remember, try to crack things on your own once you've got the concept. And, you will, a little bit of pain there. It's like how much help should you take is also a very important thing. If you take too much help, if you make it very easy for yourself, then the learning, because certain amount of breaking and racking and sweating and some amount of frustration is necessary. You cannot execute the whole process. So this is what I say, that you try your best, and still if you feel you're not getting it, then you take more help. I will be so happy to help everyone in the community with their vision, missions, goals, and milestones. Only request, please bring the heartful element in it. Think about others and yourself too, and kind of sort of get an integrated vision going forward. So thank you so much.